real time. That's nobody in here, but what does that look like real time? All right, here's what we're going to do. Raise your hand right here. When you get done talking, raise your hand right there. Raise your hand. All right, from her over, stand up, everybody. Stand up, stand up, stand up. That's easy. All right, listen. Everybody over here that's sitting down, this is roughly 63% of the room. So everybody over here that's still sitting, you guys are not going to have an issue. All right? That's the good news. So everybody else in the room, though, going to be Biggest Loser contestants, right? I mean, it's cool to say you're on Biggest Loser, but it's not cool to say why you're on Biggest Loser. Okay? But look, I mean, seriously, look around at each other. Everybody on this, I mean, this is how much of adults ever surveyed are overweight or obese. How does that happen? All right, you guys can sit down. How does that happen? Listen to me. We're going to talk back and forth, but I can only have one at a time, okay? One at a time, sound good? All right, so anybody can raise their hand, but how do you guys think this happens, that 63% of this room somehow is going to all of a sudden become overweight? Yes, sir, all the way in the back. Say it again. Unhealthy eating, that's one of them. Donuts. Donuts? Certainly donuts. Yes, ma'am. Not exercising. So there we go. Unhealthy eating, donuts, and not exercising. And here's what happens. You guys are going to do in life the exact same thing we did at the beginning of this talk. We prioritize what's important to us. What did we say was most important? Tennessee football. That's what we want to hear about. The next important was Philadelphia. Then it was Biggest Loser. Right? That's what you guys are saying is important. Then all the way down here at the bottom became healthy eating. So what happens when you become adults? You guys start, you know, you got to get a job, right? You got to go to work every day. You build relationships, start having children, start building a family. All of those things become your priorities, don't they? Look at your own families, look at your own parents. What's probably, in a lot of cases, is going to be the priorities? They got to go to work. Somebody's got to pay the bills, right? I get that, right? And you also have other things that are more priority than working out, right? Some people will tell you, I just don't have time to go to the gym. Do you have time to eat? Absolutely, you have time to eat. So don't let that be one of the excuses. But that's what happens, guys. When you guys are this age, you can go to McDonald's, you can go to whatever fast food restaurant you want, and you can eat however many cheeseburgers you want, right? Nothing happens. Like Ms. Heather said, you guys are growing, you're not gaining weight, it's not happening. But what happens? What puts you on Biggest Loser? I mean, exactly. You know what? I played at Tennessee at 299 pounds when I actually reported to training camp. Over time, even though I'm practicing all the time, I get to 305, then 320. Next thing you know, when I go to Philadelphia, I'm 338. Before you know it, in the off season, 375. And it's just creeping up and creeping up. I'm working out though, but I'm eating whatever I want, whenever I want, because bigger, stronger, faster is good. I had one NFL coach tell me, I want you as big as you can get and still be able to run. Okay? Because like I said earlier, it's cool to say you're on Biggest Loser, but it's not cool to have to explain to people how you got there. So here's my life. After I retired from the NFL, 404 pounds was my max. I simply bought bigger clothes. Okay? Then next thing you know, I'm 430. Then I'm 450. I finally got on the scale one morning and I was 476 pounds. And I remember thinking, golly, man, you're 24 pounds away from 500. How can you get to that point and not realize it? So at that point, that was my wake-up call. That was the first wake-up call. The second wake-up call, you guys want to talk Tennessee football. Let me tell you some statistics about Tennessee football. 6 players that I can name that I played with, all right, have all passed away. They're all younger than me, and they all weighed less than me when I was 476 pounds. I think they all weighed less than me when I was 400 pounds, okay? So Harry Galbraith passed away. Reggie White's passed away. Chris Mims passed away. Bernard Daphne, Larry Smith, Darrell Smith from Powell. I mean, these are all football players that some of you all aspire to be. All are dead. That was my other wake-up call. Here I am sitting at 476 pounds, and I'm still walking around. I'm convinced The reason I'm still walking around is God is not done with me yet. And being in a school like this is exactly what my purpose is. To talk to kids like you, to get you to understand how important it is, and don't just blow it off as one more thing you have to get through. Don't blow it off as one more thing you have to listen to. I'm hoping that one of you guys, or more, obviously all of you, will take something out of this and take it home. Now here's the cool part. Being 7th graders, you don't have to have a huge lifestyle change like I had to have. I had to go through major changes in how I viewed food and how I approach food every day. But you guys, because you're growing, you kind of have some leeway. Your metabolism is going crazy, you're burning food like crazy, you're active, you're doing all those things you need to do. My message to you is, continue that. Build it into your lifestyle so that it comes natural to you. So that when people see how you eat and how you carry yourself, they don't think you're doing anything different. And for you, it's nothing different. For me, food is like my drug. Food was my beer. Food was my alcohol. So that's the difference. I have to now work on that every day. I have to look at food and go, yeah, I want that, but I can't have it. You guys have the ability now to start incorporating fruits and vegetables into your diet, all right, and make it second nature. Okay? But the key to it is always make it a priority. Don't put it at the bottom of the list. Because that's all that happens, guys. You stop caring about the things that, like I said, your parents are going to care a lot more about paying the bills. In some cases, they're going to care a lot more about paying the bills than they are about getting to the gym. Somehow that falls down to the bottom of the list. And that's what winds up making 63% of America being overweight and obese. Does that make sense? Cool. Now to the fun stuff. We talked Tennessee football already. Who had a question about Philadelphia?